All the luxuries we see NBA players enjoying today? The mega mansions, private jets, billion-dollar endorsement deals, sneaker empires, and ownership stakes in teams? While we marvel at the opulent lives of NBA players, have you ever stopped to think why they have all of this? Why is the NBA now a global powerhouse, and its players some of the wealthiest athletes on the planet? That didn't start with LeBron James, or Steph Curry, or Kobe Bryant. No. That all started with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan didn't just revolutionize the game of basketball, he also single-handedly engineered a seismic shift in how athletes are perceived, marketed, and compensated. He didn't just play the game, he elevated it into a cultural phenomenon, a global brand that continues to pay dividends for every player who laces up sneakers today. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that's often talked about but rarely fully explored, the incredible, jaw-dropping luxuries enjoyed by today's NBA superstars. We're talking about private jets, sprawling mansions, insane car collections, custom fashion, and nine-figure endorsement deals that make their playing salaries look like pocket change, and how MJ shattered the boundaries and changed the sports business forever. Let's rewind before Michael Jordan entered the NBA. Back in the early 80s, NBA player salaries, while good, were nowhere near the astronomical figures we see today. The league was struggling. TV ratings were flat. NBA Finals games were often shown on tape delay. Players had fame but not real business clout. There was no billion-dollar endorsement. No signature sneaker that transcended the game. While the arrival of Magic Johnson and Larry Bird has put the NBA on the map, the league was still finding its footing on the global stage. No player was considered a global cultural icon. Then, in 1984, Jordan entered the scene and nothing would ever be the same. His global appeal, his dominance of the game, his charisma, and sheer star power made the NBA appointment viewing around the world and generated massive revenues for the league. As MJ rose, so did the NBA. TV ratings exploded. The 1993 NBA All-Star Game was the most watched All-Star Game in league history, averaging 22.9 million viewers. The 1993 NBA Finals between the Chicago Bulls and the Phoenix Suns previously held the record for the highest average rating for an NBA Finals series, averaging a 17.9 rating. But the 1998 Finals series between the Bulls and the Utah Jazz topped it off with an 18.7 rating that pulled in over 35 million viewers, still the highest-rated Finals game in history up to this day. The 1990s are widely considered the golden era for NBA television ratings, largely attributed to Jordan's presence. TV ratings were at their peak, with MJ's presence significantly boosting and breaking viewership numbers. This surge in popularity of the NBA directly led to soaring TV rights deals. More money coming into the league meant more money for the players. The NBA, once a niche American sport, became a worldwide phenomenon, largely on the back of Jordan's popularity. This increased international viewership meant more eyes on the game and more money from international broadcasting rights, which again flows back to the players. The NBA became a global brand, leading to international exhibition games, merchandising deals worldwide, and a broader talent pool of international players. Jordan took the league to another level, expanding its reach into markets no one thought possible. This increased revenue pool, a direct result of the Jordan effect, became the foundation for the massive salary cap increases we've seen over the decades, allowing teams to offer players multi-million-dollar contracts and even supermax deals that were unimaginable in earlier years. For much of his career with the Bulls, Jordan himself was actually underpaid relative to his immense value to the league, but in the 1997 and 1998 seasons, his final 2 years with the Bulls, he earned a record-breaking $30 million and $33 million annually. At the time, that was unprecedented. But here's the kicker, adjusted for inflation, that's over $65 million annually in today's money. Today, players like Curry, James, Joel Embiid, James Harden, Devin Booker, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander command salaries in the $50 to $70 million range annually. So, how did Jordan influence this? It wasn't just his individual salary that set a precedent. It was his global appeal and the massive revenue he generated for the NBA. This financial ecosystem exists because the NBA became a global entertainment product, and Jordan was the primary architect of that transformation. But salaries are just one piece of the puzzle. The real game changer, the true source of NBA players' immense wealth and luxury, lies in endorsement deals and personal branding. Before Jordan, athlete endorsements were largely transactional. You wore a shoe, you got paid. Simple. But Jordan, and more specifically, his revolutionary partnership with Nike, transformed this entirely. In 1984, Nike, a struggling shoe company, was desperate to gain relevance in the basketball market. They needed someone to bring them to basketball relevance. And they found one, and he not only brought them to relevancy, he was transcendent. They've signed the then rookie Jordan to a 5-year, $2.5 million deal. But more importantly, they gave him his signature shoe line. The Air Jordan 1 launched in 1985. The sneaker became a cultural revolution. It was the first time a basketball player had become a fashion icon. The Air Jordan phenomenon wasn't just about selling shoes. It was about selling a lifestyle, an aspiration. They weren't just sneakers. They were a statement. And MJ? He wasn't just an athlete anymore. He was a brand. The Nike-Jordan collaboration wasn't just a shoe deal, it was a partnership that included his own signature shoe line and an unprecedented 5% royalty on sales. This was unheard of, but Nike took a massive gamble on the rookie, and it paid off beyond their wildest dreams. Nike turned the NBA's initial ban on his black and red shoes into brilliant marketing, portraying Jordan as a rebel. Fans bought into the dream, and the sales figures exploded. Nike initially projected that the Air Jordan 1 would generate $3 million in sales over its first 3 to 4 years. But in its first year alone, it generated $126 million in revenue for the company. Today, the Jordan brand brings in billions annually, with Jordan still receiving hundreds of millions in royalties every year. He's earned over $1 billion from Nike since that initial deal. This established a new blueprint for athlete endorsements. Jordan showed that an athlete could be more than just a product endorser. They could be a brand identity. He proved that authenticity, performance, and a compelling personal narrative could create an empire. He was the ultimate marketer's dream. He was a winner. He had the talent and the killer instinct on the court, but also has the charisma and appeal off it. Beyond just shoes and apparel, Jordan's influence extended to global marketing and cultural impact. His reach wasn't limited to Chicago or even the US alone. He became a global ambassador. In Asia, in Europe, in Africa, everyone knew who Michael Jordan was. He turned himself into a walking global enterprise. Movies like Space Jam, his appearances in commercials for Gatorade, McDonald's, Hanes, Wheaties, Chevrolet, and Upper Deck. He transcended sports and became a household name even for those who didn't follow basketball. This immense global recognition for a single athlete had a ripple effect across the entire league. Today, NBA players are fashion icons, social media influencers, and philanthropists. They leverage their platforms to build personal brands that go far beyond the basketball court. They have luxury watch deals, high-end fashion collaborations, and even their own venture capital firms. This diversified portfolio of income streams, enabling them to afford those private jets and superyachts, stems directly from the groundwork laid by Jordan in transforming the perception of an athlete from simply a performer to a global business entity. Beyond just endorsements, many NBA players today are active investors, owning stakes in businesses, tech startups, and even other sports franchises. Today's stars have become CEOs of their own business conglomerates. LeBron James, with his vast portfolio of endorsements, which includes Nike, his own media company, Spring Hill Entertainment, his ownership stake in Liverpool FC, and investments in Blaze Pizza and sports nutrition company, Ladder. Steph Curry has his Under Armour Curry brand and 30 Inc., his primary business entity. He also has his own production company, Unanimous Media, and investments in different upstarts like Tonal. Kevin Durant has 35 ventures, his primary investment vehicle, a media sports network called The Boardroom, and extensive investments in different companies and startups like Rubrik and Skidio. He also has ownership stakes in different sports teams like Gotham FC and Philadelphia Union. These modern superstars have taken the baton from Jordan and run with it, building their own business empires far beyond their playing careers. They have dedicated teams managing their brands, their social media presence, and their investment portfolios. This proactive approach to wealth creation, leveraging their fame and capital to build long-term financial security, is a direct evolution of Jordan's post-playing career success as a businessman, most notably his ownership of the Charlotte Hornets, which he recently sold for $3 billion from the purchase price of $275 million, and his various other ventures. He proved that an athlete's business acumen could be as sharp as their on-court skills. This level of entrepreneurial ambition and the financial infrastructure to support it simply didn't exist for athletes before Jordan demonstrated its immense potential. Jordan was the blueprint. Before Jordan, athletes were only seen as employees, performers, or contract artists. Jordan, through his immense talent and undeniable market power, shifted that paradigm. He became bigger than the team, bigger than the league in many ways. This elevated status gave him, and subsequently, other star players, unprecedented leverage in negotiations. Players today have more control over their careers, their brands, and their narratives than ever before. They can demand trades, influence coaching decisions, and dictate their marketing strategies. This empowerment of the athlete, this recognition of their individual value as global entertainers and influencers, is a legacy that flows directly from Michael Jordan's era. He wasn't afraid to demand what he was worth, and in doing so, he opened the door for every player who came after him to do the same. He turned basketball into a pathway to generational wealth. He didn't just cash checks. He wrote them. Today's athletes owe a debt to MJ, whether they know it or not. Jordan broke that boundary for them. So, the next time you see an NBA player stepping off a private jet, flashing a custom diamond watch, or announcing their latest multi-million-dollar endorsement deal, take a moment to appreciate the foundation upon which that luxury is built. It's a foundation meticulously laid, brick by brick, by one man, Michael Jordan. He wasn't just a phenomenal basketball player. He was a visionary businessman, a marketing genius, and a cultural icon who understood his immense value and leveraged it to reshape an entire industry. Every dollar, every endorsement, every luxurious perk that today's NBA stars enjoy has a direct lineage back to the indelible mark Michael Jordan left on the game and the world. He didn't just play for himself, he played for the future of the NBA and every player in it.